Ministry of Water and Environment, in partnership with the Africa Tourism and Environment Initiatives, ATEI, have embarked on promoting climate change through youth initiatives. Among them is the Miss Climate Awareness Uganda pageant that features in the yearly Water and Environment Week.
Young people can contribute to protect water resources in Uganda by advocating for the restoration of wetlands. I personally have a project where I campaign for the restoration of wetlands, so young people can engage in advocating and sensitizing for the restoration of wetlands and conservation of rivers, lakes, and all water bodies in Uganda. So to me, sensitization and awareness would be the way I would advocate for the protection of water resources.
The Miss Climate Awareness Uganda pageant aims to empower young women as voices of climate change awareness nationally and internationally.
As the Ministry of Water and Environment, we feel that bringing all of us together to discuss issues that affect us and find a solution together is the way to go. This year, we are giving special attention to the power of ladies. We value the contribution and engagement of ladies, the young people, the youth, so that we can make sure that Uganda is a better country to live in.
One of our initiatives, Better Tree, we tell people that you need to stop growing trees. You need to stop planting trees and start growing trees. You cannot grow trees without planting them. That is Better Tree. Fall in love with these trees, plant it, give it a name, celebrate its birthday, and everyone is welcome to take on this kind of initiative. Conservation, we're talking about wildlife concerts, music for conservation. Miss Climate, we're talking about fashion for climate change. So what you're seeing here is not something we tell about fashion, but we are telling people that what can you do through fashion so that you can communicate a scientific message that some people might find a little bit boring. And that's how we come up with the idea of Miss Climate.
The Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Water and Environment, says with the initiative, it's the best way to tap youth potentials in fighting climate change impacts.
There are many ways that the youth can participate. And I like this innovation, and Bismarck and team, thank you. So when you have people who are passionate like that about the environment, about climate change, we need to stand with them. So I'd like to assure the contestants, you have my word, we'll engage with you because you are in a better position and you have a better approach to engage with the young people who are your peers. Issues of environment, climate change cannot be addressed by government alone. It is a responsibility for all of us. And whatever actions you do benefits you, benefits the community, benefits Uganda, benefits humanity.
Kirabo Patience Joyce was crowned Miss Climate Change Awareness Uganda 2026-2027, serving as a national ambassador focusing on climate action, community education, and environmental sustainability. Kirabo shared her journey to the crown with us.
My name is Queen Kirabo Patience Joyce, and I am the reigning Miss Climate Change Awareness Uganda. I am a student in my first year at Makerere University, doing a Bachelor of Environmental Science. So, how I got to know about Miss Climate, it was last year. I attended a Climate Change Awareness Marathon. So, it was something I actually didn't want to attend, but because I wanted to know what happened, I attended a marathon. So that's when I got to see the climate queens, Miss Climate. So I was like, okay, I think this is where I belong. So I talked to the queens, I approached them. They told me, yeah, you can come even though you do not have to be in the environment space, even though you're doing a business course, even though you're doing whichever course it is, you can still come and be part of it. So I was like, okay, I think I should go for this. That was last semester. So what inspired me was the impact that we are facing, the floods, the hot, you're always there and you feel like you're feeling so hot, the temperatures. So what inspired me was I want to be the voice, I want to be the face of climate change. We have to advocate for climate change. It's not just about awareness, but it's about action. So we, in the beginning of this year, there was a call for the next queens, the climate queens. So I applied. We went through for regional auditions, then the physical auditions, which where you would go in your region. If you are from Central, you go to Central. So I was from the West, Southwest. We were in Barara. So I traveled from Makerere and I went to Barara. So we had our physical auditions there. We were about 20 and they wanted only 3 to go for the national competition. So we went through and I became the best. Yeah. After that, we had to go for a boot camp in UWEC, Uganda Wildlife Education Center. And that boot camp was really impactful because we learned about climate education. We had to understand how climate comes about, because it comes about by human activities. Climate change is majorly caused by man. So we learned about climate change. Of course, when you're in a boot camp, people are getting to know you. They know your character, your emotional intelligence. Those are the things they basically focus on, how you're going to react in your community, because when you reach in your community, you're going to meet different people with different characters. You come to tell someone about climate change and they will not accept. Some may not accept. Some may say it's not true. So they want to understand how you will interact with such people who actually don't have a positive mindset, how you're going to interact with them. So those are some of the things that they check in the boot camp. Yeah, so later then we went for the national competition, which happened during the Water Week, the Uganda Water and Environment Week. And you had to present a project. One of the things that were needed were a project. So my project was about wetland restoration. Wetland restoration. Yeah, and people were asking me, how are you going to do this wetland restoration? Are you going to chase away people from wetlands, yet they are already staying in them? What are you going to do? And also, people are asking me, is Miss Climate Change owned by the government? You know, but it's not owned by the government. Miss Climate Change is an initiative that was started by ATEI. ATEI is Africa Tourism and Environment Initiatives. So they just thought of how they can create awareness in a more fun way. And one of the initiatives was Miss Climate. We've had also the wildlife concerts, where we can involve the youth, because we believe that once you involve the youth, you're causing impact. There's impact when you involve the youth. The project that I'm going to do for this year will be a community rainwater harvest. That is the project I am going to do this year in my community. I come from Kabale district. So that's the project I am going to do. We are going to be facilitated by the Ministry of Water and Environment. They already promised us that they would do that for us. They will be able to fund us. One thing I'm planning to do, I'm going to visit schools and we shall start up environmental clubs to educate students about the importance of nature, about the importance of these clubs, because these clubs are important, because we need to educate them about climate change. They need to know what climate change really means, People just hear climate change, but they do not know the science behind climate change. So these clubs will be there to educate the students to know about climate change. We already have the Greening Schools initiative, also by ATEI, where we are planning to go to UPDF schools to have a climate change session with them. We want to plant trees in those UPDF schools. Yes. The activities I have already started on are community cleanups. There's one that we have started at Makerere where we do cleanups. We clean maybe the whole university. We've already started up tree planting. We have an initiative called Pet a Tree. Pet a Tree, we tell people that instead of planting trees, we grow trees. You grow a tree, call it a name, and make it your pet. You celebrate its birthday. And in doing so, people are going to continue planting trees. When it's your birthday, you've done maybe 20, plant 20 trees. Yeah. So that is one of the initiatives that we have started, Pet a Tree, as Miss Klein. The strategy I would use would be waste upcycling, in that we get that waste and sort it. We sort it out, get the plastics, get the kavera, and then we get that plastic and we use it maybe to make jewelry. We can use it to make jewelry and get money. We can use it to, be creative, and basically that is what I plan to do. Get plastic and turn it into jewelry, and we sell it to get money. Yeah. So the women that have been affected by climate change, especially in Karamoja, well, first of all, the women are more vulnerable to climate change. They are the people that go out there to fetch the water, to bring food on table, and we do not know what challenges they go through to get that water, first of all. So one thing I would tell the women out there is that women are a heart of resilience, and I would tell them to not give up. Yeah, because the communities are raised by them, the children, everyone in communities is raised by a woman. So the women are the heart of resilience in every community. So empowering women needs us to secure their rights. We cannot empower women yet they are being oppressed. They are not their rights are not being focused on. So I believe we need to empower women first by availing their rights, then also providing smart agriculture practices to them by providing dry resistant crops in the rural areas, then also providing water to the women. I believe if we extend water to the women of Karamojong, most especially, we have River Nile, which is the source of River Nile, which is the longest river in the world. And we see countries like Egypt being more developed, yet we have the source in Uganda. So I feel if we provide water to people in Karamoja, if we provide water to them, I believe we would not face more challenges of climate change if water is availed to them. We can ensure that by involving young people in decision making, most especially the youth they are just brought and they talk to them. Climate change is real, you need to act now, but they're not involved in the decision making. So I feel if we involve the youth in the decision making, we would focus more on their challenges and will not have issues. Then also, if you involve the youth in creating awareness, if you involve the youth in creating awareness, it will be important also, because the youth are the future leaders of tomorrow. So if we do not involve them now, we shall not have leaders who advocate for climate change. I want to tell Ugandans that climate change does not consider geographical boundaries. Kenya may be polluting and we are the ones facing the effect of climate change, or Uganda is polluting and probably Tanzania is facing the effect. So I would encourage everyone out there to take responsibility. I believe climate change is a very big issue, and it just doesn't involve only one person. It is everyone's responsibility. So I would tell people out there to manage their waste well, to manage their waste properly, to reduce pollution. Let them stop dropping plastics wherever they want, in water bodies, in, all those people are polluting through disposing water waste in water bodies, for example, plastics and Kavera, and yet we actually need that water for our livelihoods. And when you keep on dropping the waste in the water bodies, how will you not fail to be affected by diseases?